Hey, you alright? Welcome to another video. If you haven't been here before, I'm Cecilia Joe, and first of all, please excuse the lighting. I'm actually packed up outside work and thought I've got about an hour before I need to actually go in, so I thought I would start filming this video. So yeah, please excuse that. It is 7:10 in the morning, so it's still pretty dark and I can't put all my lights on because that just looks even worse. So yeah, please excuse the lighting. Secondly, this video was actually meant to be like finishing the books that I'm currently in the middle of, but not one bit of me wants to read those books that I'm in the middle of at the moment, because they're just quite like, you know, books that I need to concentrate on, and I'm just not feeling that right now. So I've actually decided I'm going to just mood read for the week, or at least for the next few days, because there is so many books that I've got that I am dying to read. Like, I can't wait to read them. So I just thought, I don't want to like force myself to read books that I don't want to read right now, you know, because then I won't enjoy them as much and I'll end up rating them lower than if I actually read them in a time where I want to read them. Does that make sense? Because I just won't enjoy it if I'm forcing myself to. So I'm going to read books that I want to read right now. Mood read, like I say, for the next few days, maybe a week, and yeah, just get through a few books. So the first one I brought with me, which honestly I'm so excited to read this book. I feel like it's been mentioned in all of my videos, especially the ones that were put out in November. I think it was mentioned in all of them, but it is Bookshops and Bone Dust, or at least the first one was mentioned in all of them, Legends and Lattes, which I absolutely loved. I enjoyed. It was a 5-star read, probably definitely up there, but maybe even my favourite book of 2023. So I'm really excited for this one. Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. That is the first one, because I thought I'm going to film this video instead this week rather than the books I'm in the middle of. I did actually start reading it yesterday, but I'm only 60 pages in. So yeah, I'm going to read this one. I don't know what I'm going to read for the rest of the week. I'll just sort of see what book, you know, I pick up, what tickles my fancy in that moment. But yeah, I'm so excited to read this one. So like I say, I've got about an hour now until I need to actually go into the office. Even then I'll be there 40 minutes early, but anyway. I don't know why I just ramble on with myself at the start and the end of any videos. But yeah, this is the book I'm starting with today, and then we'll just see what I fancy after that. Okay, so I'm currently on chapter 10 of Bookshops and Bone Dust, and I absolutely love it so far. It still follows Viv, who is the orc, the like main character in Legends and Lattes, but I think this is pre-Legends and Lattes. I'm assuming it is. So she's joined a sort of, it's not a gang, but it's like a group that do like a missionary group, who is headed by Ramrod. Pretty sure this is like a prequel, I guess, to Legends and Lattes. So I don't know if I said, but I'm on chapter 10, page 77. So I've not read much since I started reading in my car. I keep getting distracted by like people walking past and stuff. So basically she's ended up injured in a battle and has gone to like this small town to recover, where she ends up, there's like a bakery there that makes like lovely pastries and bread, and then she's found this bookshop that is like, it kind of sounds like it's falling down, that's headed by Fern. And yeah, it just, there's like books everywhere, it's all dusty, it smells a bit funky. She put a foot through the like wooden board at the front of the shop. It just seems like it just needs a lot of work. So I'm assuming that she's gonna like help out there. Maybe she'll, you know, bring it a bit back to life. She started reading some of the books and she's really enjoying it, which she didn't think she would. So yeah, I don't know if she's going to end up staying in the small town rather than going back to battle. So basically Ramrod's group are going to come back through the small town and pick her up on the way back home when she's recovered. But who knows, she might end up staying there, I don't know. But I am loving it so far, I'm really enjoying it. I just honestly want to sit and read it all day. I don't want to have to go into work. I've got probably another like half hour, something like that, before I need to go in, 20 minutes. So I'll get a bit more done, but yeah, I wish I could just sit and read it all day. But never mind, I can't do that. So yeah, I'm going to carry on reading a bit more now, and then I will come back when I've read some more and I've got some more thoughts. Okay, so it is the next day, but I'm still reading Bookshops and Bone Dust. I got up to page 165 yesterday, chapter 22. I've had no sort of time to read today and we're already on 4 o'clock, but I'm hoping to get this finished. I think it'll probably take me like, it's still got a good 3 or 4 hours of reading. But hopefully I can get it finished today and then start another book. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I just really like the sort of cozy fantasy. It's definitely becoming one of my favourite genres. I need to have a look at some like others that are in that genre, that because I've only really read this one and Legends and Lattes, I think. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't think it's quite as good as Legends and Lattes, but I think that's because I've never read anything like that before. I was also listening to some of it on audiobook whilst I was in the office yesterday, and I think that's kind of ruined it a bit for me, because I wasn't like fully concentrating, so I've not been like fully in the world, you know. So I think reading it, I'm just going to read the rest, I'm not going to listen to anymore. So hopefully that'll get me back into it, you know. So yeah, I'm going to sit and read for a few hours now, hopefully get this finished tonight, and yeah, then see what I fancy reading after that. But I'll let you know when I get to the end. Okay, so I've just spent the morning finishing Bookshops and Bone Dust and I absolutely loved it. I really hope that he writes another book because I just love the characters, I love his writing. I just think there's such cozy, lovely to read books that I want to read more. It does say in the sort of acknowledgements at the end how within the like contract, when people were going to republish, when like a company was going to republish Legends and Lattes, the deal was that he wrote a second book, and this is obviously the second book. So I hope that doesn't mean that, you know, he's not going to write anymore and this is sort of the end, because it would be such a shame, because honestly I think I'd read whatever he brought out. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was just, like I say, such a lovely cozy read, and sticking with the same character and seeing what she did before she opened a coffee shop. And I love that it's like so simple. It's like these characters that are just not figuring out, but like discovering like things about books and doing like mystery books, you know, like how people now do like blind date with a book and it's like wrapped up and you don't know what the book is. They were like doing that, and then doing like author signings, and then like a book club. It's just so lovely hearing people discover like things that we are so used to now. I love it. I also think this one, like, I feel like as much as it's such a like cozy book and you can just escape to the little town of Merk for a while, I also think it's really like, I felt like I could really relate. So Viv, the main character, is sort of struggling between going back to fighting or staying at this bookshop in the little town. And like, she knows that she should go back out and she's not done yet with the fighting, but she just also wants to stay in this little cute bookshop and just like read all different books. And I feel like that's a lot of people that read books. Like, you know, you should go out, you know, you've got to go to work, you know, you've got to go and do the food shop or do the cleaning, but you just want to sit and read all day. And I feel like I can just relate very heavily to that. But yeah, I would definitely give this book I'm going to say 4.5. As I didn't enjoy it as much as Legends and Lattes, but I do think that's partly my fault because I listened to it on audiobook, and I think that little section that I listened to on audiobook, I couldn't really tell you much that happened in it, so it kind of brought me out of the story. But it didn't take me long to get back in it once I was reading again, which I think shows how like good the book is and how like you can properly go like immerse yourself in it, you know, really escape into it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 4.5. I'm so glad I read it. I really hope Travis Baldree brings out more books, because I would genuinely read anything. I want to stay with these characters. I feel sad that I haven't got any more books in this world. But yeah, so that is the first book of the video. So now I'm gonna choose another book, but I'm gonna sort of get ready for the day and stuff before I start reading it. But I have got a book in mind. I just don't know where it is on my shelves, or my trolleys I should say. I always say shelves and they're not shelves. Oh, here we go. I'm going to read Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. So I picked this up not that long ago and I'm looking forward to reading it. I haven't massively loved the books I've read from Ali Hazelwood so far. I do still have Love Theoretically, which I've not read yet, but I read Love Hypothesis and I read Love on the Brain, and I don't know, I just wasn't a fan of them. They weren't really for me. But I think this is her first YA one, I think. I've heard people say, I can't remember who it was now that said it, but she said that it was more about sort of chess than the romance. So I think I'm going to enjoy it a bit more, because I just think romances sometimes get like a bit boring, don't they? I'm just not a fan. And as much as this is a romance, I don't think it's all romance. I don't know if that makes any sense. But anyway, I'm going to start it. Hopefully it'll be a good book. It is, let's see how long it is. 347 pages, I think. Yeah, 347 pages. So probably take me a couple of days to get through it. But like I say, I'm going to go and get ready for the day, because I just got up and I wanted to finish Bookshops and Bone Dust. So I'm still in my dramas. Obviously I've added the hoodie, but anyway. Yeah, go and get ready for the day, and then I will start Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Okay, so we are actually on the next day now, but I did start Check and Mate yesterday. I'm actually feel like I'm getting through it really quickly. Like I'm not halfway, I'm probably about a third maybe, but I'm on chapter 12, page 142. So yeah, over a third of the way, I would say. Nearly half, I would say. I'm really enjoying it. Like I say, I'm getting through it really quickly. There's not really much romance as such happening yet, which I'm kind of enjoying. Like, I think I've said it in earlier on that I'm just a little bit, I'm not always like into romances at the minute. I think I've just read so many that I'm a little bit over it, but I'm really enjoying this one. I think up to now this is my favourite, by far my favourite Ali Hazelwood. That was the cat jumping on her scratch post and nearly falling off it. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted by the cat nearly falling, definitely my favourite Ali Hazelwood book so far. So it's following Mallory, who used to play chess when she was younger, and her dad used to play chess, and I think he was like quite high up in the chess world, and she was going to be, you know, like a prodigy. Like she was so good at it for such a young age, and then something's happened with her dad that sort of changed that, and she said she's never going to play chess again. Still not 100% sure what's happened with her dad. I don't think we're meant to sort of know yet. It's kind of a little bit of a mystery in the book. But yeah, that stopped her, whatever happened sort of stopped her from playing chess, and she's sworn she's not going to play it again. And her mum's really unwell, so she basically looks after her two younger sisters. Her mum's there, but she's just not really able to do much, so Mallory kind of brings all the money in, that's how it seems, and looks after the sisters, and is kind of like the parent of the household. So when an opportunity comes to play chess for money, she kind of takes the opportunity, but doesn't tell any of her family, because it's a bit of a sensitive subject with whatever's happened with her dad. So yeah, that's kind of where it's up to. She started playing chess again. She's only going to do it for money, but really I think she's starting to like fall in love with it again, and sort of realised how much she actually loves playing, you know, and kind of wants to play for like her own like pleasure rather than just for money. But yeah, that's kind of where it's up to. There is a love interest in it, which is, I'm assuming, is going to be Nolan Sawyer. The only sort of romancy bit that's happened so far is that she thinks he's attractive, but it's like she wouldn't go there type thing. That's kind of what it is at the minute. It's kind of like rivals, I guess, because they're both like, he is like the top player when in the like chess world, and she's like not even ranked. She's amazing at it, but because she stopped for so long, she doesn't have sort of a world ranking, so no one really knows her. But Nolan Sawyer knows her because they played when they were young, and I think she beat him when they were younger, something like that. But yeah, he's a love interest. He's very good looking. She finds him very good looking, but nothing's gonna happen because she doesn't want to play chess, and she's only doing it for the money, and she doesn't want to get involved, stuff like that. So that's kind of where it's up to at the minute. Like I say, I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting through it so quick, and I'm probably going to finish it today because I just want to sit and read it. I'm just enjoying it so much, which I wasn't sure I was going to. But yeah, Check and Mate, I'm really enjoying so far. I'm just gonna sit and binge it now, hopefully get another chunk of it read, and yeah, just see if I'm still enjoying it, see how their romance sort of progresses. Also, can we just take a second? I feel like I'm matching the book today. My face, I'm not really sure pink is my colour because I do have a very pink face when I don't have my makeup on, so I feel like it drowns me out a little bit. But I am matching the book, and I also feel like I was matching the book the other day with Bookshops and Bone Dust because I was wearing a blue jumper. Maybe a little video idea in that, matching my clothes to my books, maybe something like that. Anyway, I digress. I'm gonna go and read. Okay, so I have actually finished Check and Mate now. I've been listening to it on audiobook for most of the day whilst I was working, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I loved the sort of romance, but it wasn't too much. Like, it was more plot driven, I feel, than the actual romance, which I really enjoyed. But the romance was very cute as well. And I also love, which I think, well, it is like a theme through Ali Hazelwood's book, is about women being in sort of male dominated spaces, and I just love how she writes about that. And it's such a like main part of the story, but you don't feel like you're reading it and you're like, oh, this is a bit heavy. Like it just, I don't know how she does it. She just writes about such an important topic, but doesn't make it feel like it's really serious. I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but sometimes you read about like real life things and you think, oh, this is a bit heavy, like I was hoping to escape a bit, you know. And obviously, like, women being in male dominated spaces and not feeling comfortable in them, or not being wanted, or feeling like they sort of, or being told that they don't sort of deserve to be there, or they're only there because they're a woman, that type of thing, I think happens so much, and it's such an important sort of subject to talk about. And I just think she writes about it really well. But yeah, aside from that, like, I really love that aspect, but I also loved the like romance, and I actually really want to play chess. It's something that I'm going to put on my goals for next year. I don't know if I said that before, but it's something that I'd like to learn how to play. But yeah, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Like I say, it's definitely more plot driven than romance, which I think I enjoy, and it's definitely my favourite Ali Hazelwood book that I have read so far. I've only read, this is the 3rd one I've read, but it's definitely my favourite. And yeah, so that was Check and Mate. That is the 2nd book I have read. God, I need to read some more. 2nd book I've read this week. I've actually already decided on the 3rd book I'm going to read, because I wanted to read it for probably, I want to say about 2 weeks now since I've had it, because I read another book by this author, Kaylin Bayron, called You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, and I really enjoyed it. So I picked up another one from her. I think I spoke about it when I read that, but it's Cinderella Is Dead. I'm really excited to read another Kaylin Bayron book. I know there's quite a few out, so hopefully if I enjoy this one as much as I did the other, I'll probably pick up a few of hers. So there's Cinderella Is Dead, then there's This Poison Heart, and then This Wicked Fate. So hopefully I'll enjoy it, and yeah, probably pick up the others. But this will be the last book in this video. Cinderella Is Dead. I'm going to start it tonight, but I probably won't sort of come back and film until tomorrow. I've got a couple of hours now to sit and read before, you know, I start making tea and then settle down for the night when my boyfriend gets back from work. So I'm gonna get a good chunk of it read. Maybe I will come back tonight if I do get a lot of it read, but if not, I will see you tomorrow morning with my thoughts so far. So Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron, that is my next book. So it's the next morning. I am still in my pajamas and I've actually got the duvet out on the couch because it is so cold today and I don't want to get dressed yet. But I am still reading Cinderella is Dead, obviously. I also feel like kind of matching again. Obviously the little penguins don't really fit the vibe of Cinderella is Dead, but the colours kind of matching again. Not done purposefully, but very cute. Anyway, yeah, I'm on page 148 already, chapter 15. I'm really enjoying it so far. I wasn't 100% sure going in. I was looking forward to reading it, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be like a sort of retelling, like a fairy tale retelling, and I'm not always a massive fan of those, but it's not that at all. It's kind of set like, I'd say 3 generations sort of after the story of Cinderella, and this town basically really believe in the Cinderella story, and you know how she went and married Prince Charming and they lived happily ever after, that type of thing, and she had like a wicked stepmom and stepsisters and things like that. And the king sort of, so Prince Charming was the king of this town, and now we're on like 3 kings later, I think it is 2 or 3 kings later, and basically they all have these rules of, they have a big ball every year, and every girl that is 16 gets invited to this ball, and it's basically to find a husband. But the girls are all 16, between 16 and 18, but all the men can be of like any age, so you can have like an 80-year-old man there trying to get a 16-year-old wife. So it's all very like gross is basically the word. It's very like the men kind of rule and the women do what the men say. That's kind of the rules of this town. And then the main lead, Sophia, is very like, doesn't want that to happen. She also is sort of in love with her best friend who's a girl, so she doesn't want a husband. She has no sort of desire to be a wife of a husband and live that kind of life. So she is a bit rebellious, but she goes to this ball all dressed up in a beautiful blue dress that looks exactly like, you know, Cinderella's light blue dress, and it just kind of all escalates from when she goes to this ball. So she's only 16 and she's got her 2 best friends, Erin, who she is in love with, and then Liv. And Liv, they both sort of believe in like doing what Cinderella wanted you to do, like doing everything that the king says, and you'll live happily ever after, and the fairy godmother will come and visit you and things like that. But Sophia's a bit more sort of skeptical of it all and thinks, well, I don't want to be a wife of a husband and have to do everything that husband says and be looked down upon because I'm a woman, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm getting through it really quickly, so it's flowing really well. It's really easy to read and I'm like invested in it. Like, I really like Sophia as a character and I want to know sort of what happens next, kind of thing. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say sort of where it goes from there, but yeah, I am really enjoying it. I'm loving Sophia, like I say, and also she has like her mum and dad who she lives with both know that she is like in love with her best friend, that she doesn't want to marry a man, that she's more into women, and they have sort of said like tough shit basically to her, which obviously happens a lot these days. Sort of families don't accept, you know, people for who they are, but that's kind of what it's showing. Like they don't want to accept it because they think if she goes against what the king says, she's gonna get murdered, or she's gonna, you know, be forced into doing things that she doesn't want to do. So in their eyes, they're trying to like protect her, but she just wants to live her life how she wants to live it. So yeah, I'm very much enjoying it so far. I'm probably going to hopefully finish it today because I've not really got much on, so I'm gonna sit here and binge it because I am looking forward to seeing what happens and seeing if she sort of gets her happily ever after. I hope she does. And yeah, I really love the way Kaylin Bayron writes. I'm definitely gonna have a look at the other books that she's got and carry on reading them because I'm becoming a fan for sure. So yeah, anyway, gonna carry on reading. I don't know if I'll get out of my pyjamas today or out of this duvet because it is so cold. I feel like the temperature has dropped so much over the past few days and I just want to be in the duvet in my pyjamas and not leave the flat. So yeah, the plan is to sit and binge read all day and see where the story of Sophia in Cinderella is Dead goes. Okay, so I have actually just finished Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron and I absolutely loved it. The ending of it was so good. It was, for me, it was one of those books that I just like wanted to sit and binge because I wanted to know what was going to happen next, how it was going to end. It was just so good. I really enjoyed it. I give it 4.5 stars. I definitely recommend. I'm going to pick up more of Kaylin Bayron's books because I just really enjoy them. The 2 that I've read so far I really loved. But yeah, it was just a real like strong woman, like feminist type book in the best possible way. It was so good, and it's just, it ends like the last sentence in the book says, "Do not be silent, raise your voice, be a light in the dark." And I just think that's such an important message. I think most of us, including me, don't sort of speak our mind enough when, you know, when we see wrongdoings or when we just have like an opinion on things. We don't really use our voice. I know I don't, definitely don't, because it's easier to, you know, be silent and go with the flow and not sort of give opinions. So yeah, I think it's a really important message, but I really enjoyed the book. I loved it. I definitely recommend it. I'm so happy that I did like mood reading this week rather than reading the books that I was already in the middle of, because it's just like, I feel like it's got me back into reading again. I wasn't necessarily in a slump, but I was finding it like a bit of a chore to read. Like I just was never, felt like I was never in the mood for it. But I think it's because I was forcing myself to read books that I wasn't in the mood for. So yeah, I think this has been very good for me to do mood reading for the week. I'm definitely going to do it again. But yeah, so that was the 3rd book of the week and of this video, the last book of this video. And yeah, I think it's been a very successful reading week. It's definitely, all 3 books have been 4 stars and above, so, and I would recommend them all. So yeah, it's been very productive, very positive, and that is the end of today's video. If you did enjoy the video and you'd like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. But other than that, I will see you in a bit.